What's going on? I'm Reece Ratliff. I'm an artist, songwriter, and producer, and a member of Adam's private mentorship group, the Billboard 500 Club. You're here on the Music Industry Contact YouTube channel, where we do in-depth breakdowns of hit songs. In today's video, I'll be analyzing More by J-Hope. If you didn't already know, we cannot monetize these videos here, so our Patreon Golden Ear community means the world to us. Over on Patreon, we have exclusive content, including early access to videos and polls so that you can help select the next song to break down. If you're already supporting us over on Patreon, we want to say thank you so much. And if not, click the link in the description below to join us over there. Without further ado, let's get into the song.
Yeah, Thursday 필요하게 to be surfing 난 몸만 너무 고기 Suck out the music 이니 미니 마니 모 춤추는 아기 flow Keep my passion, I gotta go I'm still 99 11년 전도 각종 내 형광 밑줄은 발품의 미학분 끝이 없는 학습 부딪히고 넘어지면 나오는 작품 이 빛이 서도 make it move, make it mine, make it right 또 누군가의 favorite sign 그게 나의 손에 반 삶의 이유 삶의 나 운동력을 carry on Bring it up I'm doing it up
Whoa. This track is super cool. Definitely reminiscent of kind of an early Beastie Boys, Rage Against the Machine sound. He comes in with a pretty tight drum groove, but all the sounds are filtered out. So they have a really unique tone to them in the intro, and then they open up once he hits the verse. So let's listen back. High end is way rolled off.
Yeah,
Sounds like some of the low end too. And then when that verse hits, drums open up, he brings in the sub as well, so that adds a lot in that low end range, and really just opens the groove up. That filtered out vocal and then the impact into the start of the verse.
Yeah, Thursday 필요하게 to be surfing 난 몸만 너무 고기 Suck out the music 이니 미니 마니 모 춤추는 아기 flow Keep my passion, I gotta go I'm still 99
This verse is cool because the melody is really simple. Da ba da ba da ba da, da ba da ba da, da ba da da da, da ba da da. But he has ad-libs that are consistently moving around within the sonic space of the record. That first one, the filtered out vocal that leads into the verse, I believe comes in the right ear. The first ad-lib in the verse is pretty much completely in the left. And then as it moves throughout the verse, some of the different textures and different vocal pieces and instrumental pieces are pretty consistently moving around the sonic space.
Got the music. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Eeny, miny, mo, just in the left.
Keep my passion, I gotta go. I'm still
gotta go. He's doing a lot of little vocal fry textures as well, which is a really interesting contrast because in the right ear, you'll have that woo, and in the left ear, it'll be ah. So having the high on one side and the low on the other, and having it always change is a really interesting texture that he's playing with here. Verse changes a little bit, the flow in second half.
넘어지면 나오는 작품 이 빛이
So that's another similar sound, but rather than the woo, it's a little bit more of an ah. Pattern interrupt, comes in to break up the flow of what we're used to. So everything's been pretty consistent with that one whoop sound effect. And then he brings in something that's in a similar frequency range. So it's not the contrast of a low sound, but just a different sound in that same world. Cool power of 3 in that melody. A lot of those ad-libs too, as he gets later in the verse, have delay throws. So it won't be just the one sound, it'll be that sound and then a couple times of the echo of that sound going. And still just concentrated in one ear. I love this pre because he has a vocal that has a nice descent into it, and then there's also a sub bass that through the whole section is just kind of dropping down, as he also brings back the cadence of the vocal. Bring it on. Filter drums again. That chorus is crazy. So he has the single strums on the guitar, call those pearls. And along with that, it sounds like he has a synth to further fill out the mid-range. With the vocal, every line switches between the ears. So he starts out on one side and then the next line all the way on the other side. So it kind of consistently keeps the head moving throughout the whole section. Along with that, I believe that that he brings in at the start of each line is the sound that he teased in the pre when it contrasted to the woo. So just a cool little trick, kind of foreshadowing that sound before we knew what it was. And then now that it's a prominent piece, it's easily recognizable when it comes in. Oh, that cadence in that section is just hook after hook. It's interesting because not everyone is falling in the same place, but it's just with that little flip in the melody. Every time it comes back, it's just such a tight anchor throughout the whole section. Love that drum fill. The whisper tracks and the chaos throughout this whole section are wild. It's like more, want more. And the cadence where he takes it up to that scream is it's so simple, but because of that, it's so hooky and it really gets done. So I believe he does 6 of the same. So again, a repetition of 3s, and then he breaks it with the one syllable on the last. and ending with the title too. So I want more. Whoa, totally new section here. I love that the guitar texture that comes in. It sounds like just right up near the top of the neck. It's just a quick pick, and a little bit of a choked out note over these jazz chords that start coming in. Really interesting. Whoa. Those vocal fries again. So he has one at the end of the line, and then it sounds like under the next line, he has one where he's just kind of droning in the background. I love too that he says inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale over the section that really pulls back dynamically. We call that prosody, where the lyric matches what the track is doing with the feeling and the emotion. So another great trick often used by producers to, really accomplish that solid marriage between the vocal and the production. Filtered drums again. Little stop, little fill, and then right back into that chorus. Back to verse 1. New ad-lib there. So that was interesting there. They had that right. Both super verbed out on the left and then on the right. And really interesting form-wise after chorus 2 to go back to that first verse. Especially because verse 2 switched up the melody and didn't have the same feeling that verse 1 did. I really like the move to go back to it here. And that not enough, they put a different telephone effect on the vocal. Sounds like they filtered out, put some saturation on there. But again, just the pattern interrupt to break up the flow and the comfort throughout the section. Whoa. Really interesting form here. So the outro is the same as the intro with just the filtered out drums. Very cool track. This definitely brought me back to, like I said, some of that older kind of rap rock. I think, the fact that J-Hope from BTS, who typically does stuff a little bit more on the pop side of the spectrum. I haven't listened to much of J-Hope's stuff beyond this. I know he's, definitely a little bit more edgy as far as his sound goes. But yeah, I love the way that this track is really in contrast to a lot of what I've heard from BTS and a lot of other artists in this lane. Before I give my final thoughts, just want to say thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you are a musician looking to up your game with songwriting, production, networking, business, all of the above, highly recommend you check out the Billboard 500 Club. Applications are open at thebillboard500.com. And aside from that, we have a bunch of really great courses that can help out with production, songwriting, harmony, vocal arrangement, riffs and runs, really anything that you're looking for. There's a lot of great resources. Yeah, so with this track, I really like the interesting form, the interesting structure. And as crazy as it was, the chaos that kind of rode throughout the whole track just gave it this undertone of rebellion and discomfort, which I think lyrically is a lot of what he was going for with this track. Wherever I am, I want more, I want more, I want more. And it was just this cacophony of sound that was consistently moving around the headspace, different sounds, different frequency ranges, lot of really interesting textures that backed up a really simple instrumentation for the most part, with drums, bass, guitar, that one synth, some subs and 808s, but for the most part, just a pretty straightforward rock and roll track with some really cool modern production elements. Definitely taking notes for my own artistry. Once again, want to say thank you so much for tuning into this video. My name is Reece Ratliff. It has been a pleasure, and I will see you next time.